light and joy of God. Exquisite and magnificent heart of all love. To accept that only love is real is the journey that every beloved walks. There is no other journey. There is no other purpose. There is no other reason except the holy purpose of remembering love. To return to the heart of creation, to return to your true home, not because you've ever left, but because you have forgotten and have built a trance state that is filled with suffering and the perception of battle that does not exist at all. The mind that wants to make a battle, that wants to punish, that wants to attack, is a nightmare that has been made just in the belief of separation. It has no reality, no truth. To accept and trust that only love is real, and that love is harmony and peace and joy. Is to accept true life, no longer willing to live in a dream state of made-up images, made-up concepts, made-up ideas that keep wanting to prove separation, but can never prove it at all. Only love exists. Only love is real. And the journey of love is the resting, learning to rest, learning to surrender the belief in battle that is fueled by a concept of knowing. A story has been developed, a script has been written, and faith has been put into it where it deserves no faith at all. Only love exists. Only love is real. In every moment, every holy moment is the opportunity of entering into the sweet communion, a communion of love that waits patiently for the ramblings of the mind to cease, for the expression of a false identity to cease, and for the sanity of truth to return, the willingness to accept only love is real. Within the center of the heart, there is a remembering. Within the center of the heart is the true wisdom. The calling of the heart to open and let the flower of love express itself is the calling to love. Only love is real. There is no one that does not have the means to remember. It does not take intelligence. It does not take talent. It does not take education. It does not take status. The willingness of the heart is all that can open the heart. In every moment, finding the willingness of the heart to release all thoughts of the past. And to surrender deeply the future into the hands of God. To disown the future from the personal agendas, from the personal concepts, and the belief in personal control, and to willingly, happily surrender the future into the hands of God. And then to remember that the future is in the hands of God, and there is nothing to do, to figure out, nothing except trust that only love is real. In this moment, breathing deeply and fully, to bring yourself into the present moment, to remember that in breathing, the heart can open, inviting in the sacred breath, inviting in the illumination of truth, and resting in this present moment where only love is real. in this moment in deep breathing, conscious breathing, purposeful breathing, bringing focus into the breath, and bringing the heart forward, open, undefended, available to flow and bring love and blessings to every beloved, purposefully, consciously, reuniting with God in the awareness that every beloved is the light of God. Breathing. And affirming that you truly want every moment, as the moment unfolds, to be in surrender, giving every moment into the hands of God, letting the heart have its prayer. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. I will follow. I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. And breathing. And affirming here in this moment that here in the infinite circle of love, we are one. Affirming and accepting in the heart that this sanctuary is filled with love. Nothing else exists. No thought that you can make can touch the light of the holiness of love. No thought that you are making in the belief of separation can alter the truth of love. This universe is all love. Nothing can change the truth of love. There is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. Only love is real. In this moment, the acceptance. That the journey is without distance. And that the nightmare of separation is non-existent. A fabrication of a feverish mind. Only love. only peace, only joy. Allow this prayer to fill your consciousness with light. Invite the truth into every cell, into every molecule, to be transformed, to make the choice that only love is real. I put myself in the hands of God, only love is true. Divine grace, divine love, divine breath, divine truth, only love is real. I put myself in the heart of God, only love is true. Divine breath, divine heart, divine truth, divine grace, only love is real. I've put myself in the hands of God, only love is true. Divine strength, divine truth, divine love, divine breath, only love is real. Only for your love, only for the sweet charity of remembering, I give myself to all divine beings to show me the way. Only for your love, I surrender myself into being led. I ask for healing in this session of love. I ask for the healing that is necessary of all beliefs of separation. And I accept the charity of love, the transformation of love, the truth of love. Apenas por vosso amor, apenas por caridade, a vós te damos louvor, ó Virgem da castidade. Apenas por vosso amor, atendo nosso chamado, ajuda-nos a cessar, a curar a necessitados. Apenas por vosso amor, apenas por caridade, a vós te damos louvor, ó Virgem da castidade. apenas por vosso amor, atendo-nos o chamado, ajuda-nos, ó cessar, a curar a necessitados. Heal what is necessary, putting yourself completely into the hands of God. Heal what is necessary. Heal what I've made up. I surrender, and I ask for the healing of love to transform all untruth. Allow the illumination of love to completely envelop all beliefs of separation and open to the light of love. I ask for this healing. I say yes to the truth of the power of love. Your seed pouch. Lanterns hang from the night sky so that your eye might draw one more image of love upon your silk canvas before you sleep. Words from him have reached you until the golden field inside. When all your desires are distilled, you will cast just 2 votes: to love more and be happy. Take the sounds from the mouth flute of Hafiz and mix them into your seed pouch. And when the moon says it is time to plant, why not sing and dance? Why not sing and dance? To sing and dance and to recognize that you're here to cast 2 votes, to love more and be joyous. Not trying to find pleasure from the old habits of the past, trying to find temporary relief from the belief of pain and suffering by getting something from the outside. That's what everyone has done. Trying to capture some erroneous substitute for the truth of joy, the truth of complete happiness. Don't settle. Never settle. Never compromise. But continue to recognize that as the lanterns hang from the night sky, that your eye might draw one more image of love before sleep. That you never want to go to sleep with any thought that is not of love, that is not affirming that only love is real. You have the power within you. You haven't been aware of the power. It's just starting like a seed in the pouch that needs to be planted. It needs to be planted and watered and nurtured every day, all day, with truth and with honesty. The honesty is to step out of the games of the ego. The ego is never honest. It doesn't know honesty at all. It lies constantly. It's its only way. is to make up lies. But like every good liar, it uses every form to make up the lies. It makes up lies through the conception of knowing. It makes up lies in the idea of logic. It makes up lies that have reasons and have the past to depend on for its reasoning. It has fear to push it, constantly pushing, wanting attention. It has pleasure to focus on in order to give little tidbits of something like a little puppy that will be distracted by something out of pleasure to distract from pain. But to step out of these lies is to step into honesty. And the honesty is surrounded and centered in what you truly want. That is the key to stepping out of the trance. Every time you ask yourself the question, what do I truly want? The answer will come quickly. And it will pull you out of the trance of the belief of separation. Not totally, but enough that you recognize you have a choice to make. That you're in a journey of choosing. And for the first time, you're actually aware that you have a choice and that you must choose in order to let go of the trance. And that only you can choose. No one can choose it for you. There is no coercion in God. There is no coercion in love. And there can't even be a rescue. Because when you have made a whole system on your own that says, I am separate, you must choose to invite the healing of that lie. You are not separate. And you must choose what you truly want. When you choose peace and harmony and joy, a door opens. And all the power of love answers your call. You're surrounded by love. You're surrounded by help. But you must choose it. And sometimes the trance pulls in such a way that you don't think you have a choice. But deep within you, you have to remember that you always have a choice. The ego has made a lie and developed a system that is centered in victimhood, that is centered in helplessness, and centered in damage and lack. And yet love is constantly promising through every spiritual sacred teaching that only love is real. And the journey, once that seed has been planted of truth, must be nurtured. The truth must be nurtured. It is your nurturing. as you bless, as you accept daily, moment to moment, that you must love, that you must open your heart and offer love, and that this love is without conditions, that this love has no judgment, no opinions. It can't. It can't. It's freely given. It has to be freely given. And with that freedom to give this love, to offer this love, joy is found. Peace is found. And a deep relationship with trust is found. Trusting the honesty of truth and the willingness to question with honesty where your loyalty is in the moment, what you are worshiping in the moment, what you are devoted to in the moment, so that a new relationship can build, can grow out of that seed that's been planted. Growing stronger, filling your universe until you can't see anything else. And until nothing else has any interest, the seed has been nurtured. But it only becomes nurtured through the practice, the offering. The seed does not get nourished theoretically. The seed does not get nourished through ideas. It gets nourished through the heart of acceptance that only love is real and that love must be shared. To be the truth of love, it must be shared. Words from the divine have reached you until the golden field inside. That is what sacred teachings do. The word of love has reached and tilled the golden field inside. And when within the golden field is so tilled with the sacred words, the sacred truths, there's no room for anything else. Again, the seeds are nurtured, and the seeds grow and fill your whole being with the truth of love. And you return to your natural state. This is who you are. The seed has been planted, the seed has always been there. But the belief of separation, the belief of vengeance and grievances, and the belief of attack being real and attack being authentic, and the belief of lack, all of it has taken those seeds and made them unrecognizable, forgotten within. And they must be nourished. And the light must be invited in. No longer willing to live in the shadows, to live in the perceived darkness of knowing about a separate life, about a past, about an identity that has no reality, that has no truth, and the willingness to invite the light of God to illuminate everything back to reality. That you want only the truth, that you want only the honesty, and that you want to remember. When all your desires are distilled, you will cast just 2 votes: to love and be joyous. It's very simple. Remembering love is very simple. It's so simple because the only direction and correction that there is to ask the question, is this a thought of love? Am I experiencing love in this moment? Is there joy here? If there isn't, it's just something being made up. It's not of God. And the happy learner gladly surrenders what's been made up, happily, with the gratitude that, thank God I was mistaken. Thank God this nightmare can end. Thank God it isn't who I am. Thank God love is real. And even when you're not yet in the awareness of love, holding that trust, holding deeply the promise that you are walking to the promised land, that you are walking to the truth of love, and you're surrounded by mighty companions that only want to serve the truth of love and only can serve the truth of love. You're never alone. You're never without. And the mind that is making up nightmares and making up stories and making up temper tantrums and making up reasons to be miserable starts to really fade away because it's not being fed. The misery only grows when it is fed. And it only is fertilized by the idea that you know something and that your thoughts are meaningful, that they're purposeful, when they're really not. To open the heart and the acceptance that you're willing to have love guide you, that you're willing and inviting love to guide you. When you ask love to guide you, it's a clear realization that your knowing is not the way. When you ask love to guide you, you are relenting to the awareness that you must be guided because this is a new way that you have not walked. And that when you want your journey to change directions out of misery into joy and peace, you must have a guide. You must open to that guidance, or else you'll just keep spinning in the same circles. believing you know and reenacting the past. Nothing is available for healing. Let love guide you. As soon as you accept guidance, everything begins to open, because you are with your mighty companions of love, true spirit. You're in the willingness to be in communion and to learn, to be the happy learner in the schoolroom of love, patiently taking in whatever is most helpful, waiting for the guidance to show you the way, learning patience within the world, that in the perfect time harmony of love, love will lead you with what is most helpful, and that you don't have to worry at all, ever, about what to say or what to do, because love will direct you to learn to be the vehicle of love and learn the way of remembering. Take the sounds from the mouth flute of Hafiz and mix them into your seed pouch. And when the moon says it is time to plant, why not dance? Dance and sing. The journey of love is not a journey of sorrow. The journey of love is only perceived with sorrow through resistance, through sabotage. To be unraveled is not painful, but the mind that is so used to making decisions and having assessments and opinions will love to give its 2 cents. If I don't like this and I don't like that and this isn't familiar, so I don't like it. There's no way to go through the healing of love without entering into the unfamiliar. It will not be familiar. It can't be familiar. Everything that you have known has been what you've made up. That is your familiar. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean that it has reality. Just because it's familiar does not mean that it has any worth. It's only familiar because you've been living in an untrue state for lifetimes. And as love begins its dance of unraveling, the ego has opinions. The ego has ideas of what it likes and what it doesn't like. And that's when you say, enough. Enough. I'm not listening anymore. I'm not willing anymore to keep accepting pain and suffering as normal. I'm not willing to continue a battle that's been self-made and hiding in the shadows of the mind, making up its stories that have no truth. Enough. I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to accept the joy of remembering and to nourish the truth within as I express love and offer blessings, void of all knowing, blissfully given, but having no opinions, no concepts of what's going on, just offering love. To be the fool for love. What is it to be the fool for love, and why would this be such a teaching? To learn to be the fool for love, because the ego will do anything not to appear foolish. Anything to save its pride and its identity and its concept of self. So it is a happy place to accept to be the fool. Because in that happiness of being the fool, there is freedom. Because there's nothing to protect, there's nothing to defend, there's nothing, no identity that needs protection in any way or can be protected. It's all made up and it's all nothing. How can the divine glory of God be diminished? How can you need a false identity conjured up in the belief that there is something to protect and defend when you are the light of God itself? What are you accepting? Only you can choose between truth and illusion. And every spiritual teaching is pointing the way so that you can clearly see what is real and what is made up. When you ask the question, what is this for? What is this being conjured up for? What is this thought about? What's the intention behind this thought? This will bring you to the awareness of what's running. This will bring you back into honesty of what are you really offering. Is it love? Is it pure? Is it unattached? Is it unconditional? Or is there something to get? Something from the old agreements of needing to prove, wanting to get, wanting to preserve, wanting to protect. Bring it out of the shadows so that you can make a clear choice, moment to moment. I must choose between truth and illusion. And to affirm in every moment that love is my life. I have no other life. I have no other purpose. Love is my life. Love is all that there is, and I will not accept anything else. Only love. I will not serve anything else. I will not be devoted to anything else. I will not worship anything else. Love is my life. when you begin to open to God, the ego believes that the enemy has struck and attempts to offer gifts to distract. And it's always the same thing. Self-inflation. Self-inflation is a dance that the ego loves to play, because there has to be the belief in scarcity, there has to be the belief in unworthiness, there has to be such self-hatred that the self-inflation looks promising. And it's for every beloved to see that it means nothing and it has no gift. It has no real offering. It brings you to nowhere except back to the past. And that honesty, that place of honesty within that was willing to recognize, oh, I see this old pattern, I see this old agreement. It has no worth, and I'm not willing again to join with this. I choose love. I choose peace. I choose to have one more image of love before sleep. I choose to wake up with only love in my heart and mind. I choose to wake up in gratitude for the opportunity of remembering love today. I say yes to love. And with gratitude, recognize that you have a day where you can bestow your innocence on every beloved. To bestow your innocence is to give your heart. That is your innocence. It wants nothing. It needs nothing. It isn't looking for a payoff. It isn't looking for recognition. It isn't looking for an attaboy. It isn't looking for anything, because everything is accepted, that everything is already within. Everything is already within. Whether it's actually recognized or not, the trust that everything is within has to come first before the recognition that everything is within is actually materialized. To accept that everything is already within is necessary. You will not believe it when you see it. You will see it when you believe it. When you put your faith that everything is already within and that you can offer love without conditions, even though you're not aware of that fullness of love within, you're opening the door to the manifestation of that recognition of the love that is within and that you are. It is the leap of faith that you take. I must love. Even when I'm not aware that I am love, I must love. And at the very least, I must not offer attack. I must not allow the thoughts of the past to have their way. I must surrender my opinions. I must surrender what I think I know to make room for love. I must surrender and ask for the help of transformation of all erroneous ideas of separation. I must. and I willingly do so. That's the journey of the day. The ego's journey of the day looks very different. The journey of the day for the ego is, what can I get today? What can I prove about myself today? Where can I get a high today of self-worth and self-aggrandizement so that I feel satisfied and I feel bigger, self-inflated, self-important, prideful. We think of pride as something that obvious, arrogant people carry within them because they are successful in the world and that they have something to be prideful about. But there is a pride in the self-inflation of trying to get away from the belief of self-hatred, trying to pump up a false identity out of behavior in the world that has no love at all. There's no love there. Love is innocent. Love is joyful. Love is peaceful. Love is all that there is. It doesn't have any other needs in any way. Love is my life. I have no other life. And the willingness to live in that light, to live in that surrender, day to day, moment to moment. I must love. I must love. When all your desires are distilled, you will cast just 2 votes: to love and be happy. Every morning, waking up, I must love, and I'm here to remember joy and peace. I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know how I can serve today, but I must love. I will not value what is valueless any longer. And I will want the guidance of love to illuminate the false values that I've given to this world. The willingness to bring honesty and to recognize that there is nothing outside that is going to bring peace, that there is nothing outside that is going to bring joy. That it is the journey within of opening the heart, truly opening the heart. And the heart will open as it is primed to offer love. That's how it opens, by giving love unconditionally, without judgment, without opinions, without getting. And it is the journey of deep surrender. I must love. When the moon says it is time to plant, the happiness of planting the truth in every moment through the offering of love. When you put your trust in God and in the divine will of God, it will settle all perceptions of problems now. When you allow that you don't know what anything means, what anything is for, or how to look on anything, the problems that are perceived will fall away, because all the perception of problems are held in knowing from the past. Has no validity. And every perception of problem is a distraction from the realization that there is only one problem. The belief that you are separate from God. And that isn't true, so there is no problem. But to accept that there is no problem is a leap of faith to be happy in this journey, to walk in the world with the music of love in your heart. That the music of love is singing through your heart and filling everything with the melody of love. Can you hear the music of love? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. When the heart is flowing, there is a singing that fills the universe. Happiness is always singing. But when your mind is filled with what you think you know and your stories and your concepts, you can't hear it. Because that's all you're hearing is assessments and conclusions and opinions and schemes. Listen to the song of love. It's singing. And it's in your heart. Let it be recognized. Open the heart and accept the peace and the joy that is the truth of all love. You have the power within you. You have the choice. The choice is always there. Oh, the ego would love you to believe that you are a victim of circumstance, or the victim of the past, or the victim of circumstances outside you. Your reactions to perceptions of things outside you is the ego saying, this is separate from me, and I'm going to be at the effect of this because I'm giving this meaning. It means nothing. Everything that you see outside you is coming from your own mind. Every idea that you perceive of meaning that you've given to anything outside is coming from your own mind. You're making your own nightmare. You're making your own misery. And the choice is here. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose to be shown the way. I will no longer accept the ramblings of the mind, the perceptions that are coming from the mind. I must love. And I must offer love. Each and every moment. Words from the divine have reached you and tilled a golden field within. Recognize that all the sacred teachings have tilled the golden field within. And nurture those seeds that are planted. The truth. Keep affirming the truth. Keep affirming with honesty that there's nothing to know and that love will guide you in every moment. And you will offer love. Can you wake up in the morning happy? Absolutely. It's a choice. Not thinking about what are you going to do next and what are you going to get and how are you going to protect yourself and how are you going to work through the day to improve your status. But that this is a day of love. This is a day of remembering love. That this is a day of offering love. And that you're so happy. You're so happy to have this divine choice to offer love and to remember and come home through that offering. This is a day of remembering love. This is a day of choosing. Choosing carefully what words are offered. Choosing so carefully because there's nothing left in you that wants to offer anything but truth and honesty and clarity of love. Every word and every thought, when you see someone walking toward you, maybe your habit has been in the past to assess them and refuse to assess them. Refuse in any way to judge what you think you know about them by their appearance. Refuse. Say no more. This is the light of God walking toward me. I must accept this beloved into my heart. Because that's what I'm here to offer. Where the mind wants to assess, I like this, I don't like this, anything. No. I must love. I must offer love. Because it nourishes the seeds of my heart to remember. And because I'm offering love to myself when I offer love to everyone. There is no other. Everyone that you offer love to is you. There's no other. And in the remembering, everything returns to oneness. And you realize there is no other. And love is all there is. Refuse the temptation of the stories of the past, where you think you know someone. The past is 2 minutes ago. The past is a minute ago. Everyone that you have assessed in the past, it's time to let them free of the assessments you've made of them and to forgive yourself for those assessments that mean nothing, and to begin again with an open heart and an empty mind that you don't know anything. and that you're so happy you don't. Because everything that you think you've known has been your pain and suffering. It's the direct cause and effect of pain and suffering. So every beloved must be set free. I don't know who they are. They are the light of God. That's it. Nothing else is true. I'm not here to assess and figure out what they need, what they should be doing, what they could do better, what they aren't doing well now. It doesn't matter. Nothing. What they're wearing, what they're not wearing, how old they are, what they're doing, what their job, they're nothing. Nothing. But to accept them into your heart and offer love. To bless every beloved. And to accept that the power of transformation is in your willingness. You hold the power of love within you. You have the power to transform humanity into the recognition of love. Why would you choose something else? Except it's just habit. But it's time to let the habits go and to wake up from the habits, from the trance, and offer love from every moment. Let the blessings pour through my dreams. Let the blessings pour into every beloved as I sleep and in my waking, that I wake with joy and happiness, that I'm here to love. Let my first thought every morning be, thank you, God, for this day of remembering love. Thank you. I'm here to love. And if I notice that there is a retraction and a contraction in any way, that I have the choice to question this, that I must question this and say, no, none of the old habits, I'm not accepting them anymore. My heart, I bring forward, and I offer love. I choose. I choose the way of love. And when the moon says it's time to plant, I hear the call to sing and dance. Happy to be on the road to freedom. Happy that the nightmare that I made was not true. Happy that in the truth of love, everything is perfect. Opening to the universe of love. I will receive my welcome home. Affirming. I must love.